Hello, everybody. Welcome to This Board Game Life. My name is Mark, and today I'm here to actually do a review. And I've only done one, and it's something I want to start doing a little bit more of. But one of the things about my reviews are going to be I'm not going to review something until I've played it, and I feel like I've played it. Some games, maybe you only need to play one time to be able to form an opinion. Some others might take a couple of plays and might take longer. So I'm not going to rush to get something reviewed that's like brand new. I may not have it. I pay for all my own games. We're not currently supported by anyone other than you guys. And I do ask that you do hit that like and subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you'll never miss when we're dropping new content. But so how I handle reviews is I don't like to rate them a number. I think that people some rate by so many stars, 1 to 5 stars, or rating 1s to 5 or 1s to 10, and I think giving it a score is really kind of arbitrary. It every game, just kind of like movies and music and TV shows and things like that. There really is no right answer. I mean, it really comes down to, do you personally enjoy the game? And everyone's got different opinions. Everyone's going to have different tastes. So how I kind of approach is I'm just going to let you know some information about the game and like what it comes with, kind of show off some of the things that, maybe some of the components, kind of talk about things that I might like or that I might dislike about maybe the rule book or the quality of the components, or I might really like them or something like that. And kind of give you a quick rundown of what this game's about. What do you get in this game for your money? And how long does it take to play? What are you doing when you're playing? And then basically kind of share some what I feel might be pros about the game, what I think might be some cons about the game, and then just give my final thoughts. Is it fun? Did I enjoy it? Would I recommend it? Who do I think would like this game? Is it replayable? And ultimately that's kind of it. It's going to be, more of would I recommend it or not? Not a score, anything like that. So let's jump into it and let's get started. So if you didn't notice by the thumbnail, I'm going to do a review of Twinkle Twinkle. This is from Allplay. This is just came out. So today is July 24th. The official launch of this, I believe, is July 30th, the day before Gen Con. I think it's 29th, 30th. Yeah, 30. They're having their launch party on the 30th. So I believe the game hits retail the 30th, 31st. So just a couple more days. I did crowdfund this. I did back this game. So I did also get the expansion called How I Wonder. And then I also did get another miniature expansion. Oh, it's not in here. I did get another one for like these little Martians, little Martian kind of upgrade, which or an expansion rather. But what I'm gonna talk about basically is just the base game, and I will show you some of the contents in here. But so this is designed by Ammon Anderson, and then John Bridger did the solo design. The art is by Natalie Dumbuey, and it does play 1 to 4 games in about, plays 1 to 4 players in about 30 minutes, and it's for ages 10 and up. Now, this is a board game with individual player boards. So, as I kind of talk about some of these things, I want to show you some of these things. So, there was I told you about like a Martian. There's an extraterrestrial little mini expansion. I did pick that up, and then there's some turn order here. This is for the Cosmobot, which is for the solo play. So there is a kind of a turn order card. You do get a scoring dry erase marker scoring card, and I think these are. I think they're not identical. There's, oh, I think for the other side is like you can put in, if you have different, if you're not using the standard scoring, the 5 little things that they include, the other side allows you to write in. If you got some of the expansions, you can write in which ones that you're scoring with. But so, and I guess maybe I'll cover some of this in a minute. But so this game is a board game with individual player boards and clear tiles, and you are going to draft from a public market. Some of the mechanisms in this game, you're making connections. You are covering a grid. You do have open drafting, so everyone can see what you're drafting. There's a pattern building game here. You're doing set collection, tile placement, and then turn order, because turn order will matter when you do your open drafting. Whoever's first will pick the tile they want from the market. But if it's all the way like at the end, that's the one they want, then they're going to go last on the next turn. And you do get to see what tiles are going to be added on the next one. So you get to see what's available now and what's available on the next turn. So you might take a lesser tile to go first next time to get the one you truly want on the next turn. So there is that mechanism. So just a quick rundown. So in this tile laying game, Twinkle Twinkle, you're going to fill your star chart with clear plastic tiles. You're trying to connect constellations, build belts of asteroids, collect comets, pick up planets, and study them with satellites. Now take care with those pesky black holes unless you have a perfect spot for them, of course. Constellations, asteroids, comets, planets, and black holes all score differently. With 10 modular scoring conditions in the box, you can mix and match for 32 different setups. Whoever finds their highest score in the stars wins. Also neat about this game is it does feature an optional scoring app that allows you to point your phone at the board and watch it magically tally up your points. Now, today is, I said, July 24th. That app is not yet available, but it should be upon release date. So here next week, I should get a chance to try the app. Well, I'll be at Gen Con next week, so I will probably have to wait until I get back. But we'll get a chance. I'll test it out, and then of course if I run into anything, I can always let you guys know on the channel. But it's going to be nice. You just open the app, point your phone at the board, tells you what your score is. All right. So the box. This is a I call it a small medium. It's got to get used to it. I don't know why my camera always feels like it's backwards. It's not a big box. It's you could probably call it a medium. I say small to medium. It's probably half the size of a regular, Calyx size. I probably should call this a medium-sized box. So what you're going to get in the game is a one drawstring bag. And I'll tell you what, first of all, I'm a big guy. I got big old meaty paws. Look at that. Bag is rounded, which I love because it stands up it'll stand up. Okay. There's nothing in it, but it will stand up on the table. And it just makes it easier to play. I really like bags that kind of are rounded and will stand up like that on the table. Makes things a lot easier. There's 95 star chart tiles. And now I'm going to show you, I printed some inserts for mine. These do not come in the box. So these two things, organizers do not come in. I printed these out myself. So it's just, and I'll talk about that in a little bit more, but you get 95 star chart tiles. So they're all clear tiles like this. As you can see, there's like 2 stars on there, and the dotted lines are like the paths that you're making. There you will have asteroids, and too by the letters. There's a letter A. Those are the asteroid tiles. These are black holes. We've got the letter B on it, and of course you can tell by the iconography it is a black hole. There's a comet. I'm trying to hold that so you can see it, so it's not like in front of my face. get a little bit of the background. So there's comets. We also have planets. And we have some satellites. Okay. Now, if you've watched the Dice Tower video, where Joe Wiggins was on doing a play and teaching this game with the guys, you might have seen in there that the instead of the letter S, which you see here, there was a letter T, and he made a comment there that the app was having a problem with the letter S, so that they put a letter T in it to make it score. So when I got my copy and saw the S was on, I did reach out to him and just asked. I was like, "Hey, were you guys able to fix that?" And he said, "Yes, the app does work with the letter S," which I like, because I'd rather have S for satellite, because that's what they are. They were talking about maybe changing it to technology, but they did get the app working correctly with the letter S. So cool. And then the rest of these tiles that you get, there's like some single stars. There's others that have like multiple stars. Now you'll see that little clock symbol on the bottom there in the corner. The tiles that are like this, they're going to be a little bit higher scoring. So they go last in line, essentially, for your market. So in other words, whoever's going to end up taking this is going to end up going last on their next turn, because it's a more powerful tile, or gives you more points and stuff. Okay, so we got standees. I think they were just cardboard standees. I did opt to purchase the acrylic. So this is an upgrade. Your guys are just like a little space person. This one's like a little fish. I think you got a little cat and a little dog, but again, they're cardboard in the retail, and then these were upgrades. So just know that that's an extra purchase if you'd like those upgraded little tiles. All right, so you get 4 of those. You get an observation board, which I believe is what they're calling this. So this is the turn order here, and it shows you, let's see, why is there's that's for a 3. So if you're playing like a 3-player, you can use this side. This is the 4-player. But you're going to put your tokens up here, and then you're going to put tiles into the current market, and then the next round, it shows you next round, you're going to have the other 4 laying there. So when whoever ultimately randomly is first player, they're going to pick one of these tiles, and then they're going to put their marker. So if I took this spot, I'm going to put my little guy here, and depending on where everybody else takes, whoever's over here on this side, they're going to go first, and then you just move your turn order. So that's how you determine turn order in the next round. And so I like that. You can try to go first all the time if you want, but you're probably not going to, you might not be getting the tiles that you would benefit you. But you'll have first shot every round, or you might end up last because you took something that was a lot, like, would really help you. You were able to get it, but now you're going last. You're still going to get 2 tiles because they always have 5 to choose from, at least with 4 players. And there's always going to be one left over that always slides over, becomes the number 1 thing. So for some reason, nobody takes the most powerful one at the last spot, it will slide over. And then it'll be available, and you'll be first. Whoever's first can take it and be first the next round. So, and I like that you can see what's coming out in the next round. I do like that. It's pretty cool. All right, so I already talked about the scoreboard. I already showed you that. You do get a dry erase marker. You also get 4-star chart boards. So these are your player boards. So you got purple, orange, blue, and green backgrounds, but it doesn't really matter. There's really no player color. This is just your player boards. So it doesn't really matter like the color that you are, but they look nice. I'm going to show you one a little closer. So this is actually really nice, and I like what they've done here. And I hate that I'm covering my face. I gotta probably get a different camera set up for this, but or a situation. But anyways, these are the player boards. This is the grid up here that you're going to be placing your tiles out and making connections and grouping. And then down here, this is telling you how to score. So this is the same at the bottom on everybody's board. And this is how you're making your constellations, how you're connecting these guys, the little stars, and making the links. So you're going to score the number of stars in your two largest constellations. Then you're going to score the number of constellations of two or more stars that you have. So you're always going to do that regardless of what else is in the game, because there's a ton of these little constellation tiles in the game. All right. Then we have there's 20 object references. So that's referring to the things in this little thing I printed out. So you get things like the asteroids. Okay. So you've got the asteroid tiles, right, in the game. So you're going to have one of these. If you're playing with the asteroids, you're going to have one of these laying out, either side A or side B. So there's the green side and there's the blue side. And they're going to score things differently depending which side you choose. And every player will be playing with the same side. It's something that you will decide at the start of the game. So, for example, the asteroids on the blue side, it says, and also at the top, you'll see where it says asteroids times 12. That number at the very top here is telling you how many asteroid tiles are in the bag. Okay, so it gives you an idea. And as you watch them come out and you see these asteroids go on other people's boards, you can kind of, I see 5 out there, it helps you understand that there's 7 left, right? So you can kind of manage that, because everybody will know how many tiles are in the bag. Now this one, if you're playing the blue side, it says you're going to score your largest cluster of asteroids that are beside or diagonal to each other. Shows you how many points you're going to get by having these grouped. And then it shows you an example over here. So you got the chart here showing how many points. And then over here, you've got an example of what will score. And then on the other side, you're going to score each cluster of one or more asteroids that are beside or diagonal to each other. So it scores a little bit different. So you will have those out. So then, and what I think is kind of neat is on your board, you're going to have 5 different ways, and they're all going to basically just lay down. It just lays in front of you, and then you'll slot these different ones down the side of your board so that you can always refer to it if you've got comments. It's going to tell you how to score comets and how they're scored. So you've always got that, scoring right in front of you. It's very easy to look at and just, remember how things are going to be scored out. And then, of course, there's the solo option as well. So the game doesn't really have it, like, really the only color is here on the back of your player board, and it's just more for ambiance. There's all the tiles are clear. There's no colorblind concern. So if a person has colorblind issues, they should not be concerned about that. They do have, like I said, these are blue and green sides, and I don't know. I don't see anything specific. If you're a blue-green colorblind, this could potentially be an issue. But if you're with you're with the group, you can just say, we're doing the one that says score your largest cluster or score each cluster, So it's not going to impact colorblind. There's really no colorblind issues. What you're punching out, these are big. Like I think there was one you just punched it out, and these were, I thought, those weren't punched out. These were punchable. They just pop right out. So punching the cardboard, super easy. These are very thick, very nice. The nice thick pieces in this game. There's nothing to sleeve. There's no cards or anything, so we don't have to worry about that. As for storage, you see I've got this really nice storage tray holds everything real nice. This is not what comes in the game. There is no storage. You would put all your tiles into your bag for storage, and then all your cardboard pieces would just sit in the bag. You can rubber band them, put them in a Ziploc if you want. The game did, I think it did come with some Ziploc bags. But if you do have a 3D printer or access to one, you can print out. There's some really nice, like these things are amazing. The person that designed these just did an amazing job. So you can very easily, these are, like I said, free to download and print out. The artwork in the game is really nice. I think there's not a lot of artwork except for what's on the tiles, really. There's just some nice coloring, but the backs of the boards it's just really nice. It has I don't want to say a cartoony feel, but to me it kind of feels like a Saturday morning cartoon, just kind of like the different sizes of the stars and just kind of like the look of the asteroids. They're realistic, right? But I don't know, kind of reminds me of like a Saturday morning cartoon. I kind of like it. I think it looks really neat. All right. So is there anything special with this game? I think that it's really fun to play and that it has a lot of replayability due to the optional scorings of, side A and B. It really is going to give you a variety of ways to score the game and play. Now, also, if you get the expansion, How I Wonder expansion, it comes with a whole bunch of more of these things, plus the additional tiles that you'll need for them. But it gives you things like, let's take a look, galaxies and wormholes and moons. Let's see, what else is, I think there was 5 new ones that you can add into the game. Rocket ships, and I said moons. So we got rocket ships, galaxies, moons, wormholes, nebulas. So those are 5 more objectives here that you can add in, and again, mix and match however you want to really change and always make the game different. So I think that's really cool. And again, even the expansion has an A and a B side for scoring. So really opens up the possibility of different games. This game is very quality. This game is a $40 game retail, just for the base game. And the bag alone, if I was to buy this bag, I remember when I did my unboxing, I was like really impressed with this bag. This is a high quality bag. It's got like metal. This is like a metal clasp on the end, not a cheapo plastic one. I mean, if this is plastic, it feels like it's metal. I mean, maybe it's plastic. It's probably plastic, but man, it looks and feels like it's made of metal. But it's like a silvery string, and just the bag looks really good. It's a really good. This is not a cheap bag. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. It's a quality bag. The cardboard's nice and thick. These are not going to get bent easily. There's quality there. The tiles are like nice and thick, and it's when you've got them in the bag, makes everything. Well, here, I'll throw a bunch in the bag, and there's just that nice clinkiness, right? If you're like me and you love upgraded components, like this is like upgraded out the box. Like there was nothing to upgrade in here. Everything, it just has that deluxe feel. Like I said, the only thing I upgraded were these guys, my little character guys, which really you don't really need to do. The cardboard standees are just fine because you're just moving them from which place you're starting in. So it's just not needed, but this game has a very deluxe quality feel to it. The rule books are important. So, this is it. That's the rule book. It's 3 pages. It's 4, but the 4th page tells you how to play solo game. So first page is telling you how to set up and the components, and then that's it. These 2 pages are telling you how to play and how to score. So it's very easy to read. I get 4 pages. You can read this in just a matter of minutes, and that's it. That's all it takes to really learn this game. It's very colorful. There are good examples in there of how to play. Now the game, it plays over 20 rounds because you're placing 20 tiles out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Okay. Make sure I counted right. So you're putting tiles down until this board is full. So everyone's going to have 20 tiles out. Now 20 rounds might sound like a lot. It is not. This game really is, what did I say, 30 minutes? It says 30 minutes. Once everybody play, your first game probably take you 30 minutes because you're going to keep going to the scoreboard and looking at it. Once you understand this game, I bet you can play a game in 20 minutes easy. It's 20 rounds. It goes quick because you take a tile and you're placing it, and someone else, boom, boom, boom. Everyone took their tile. You reset. You draw more tiles. Round 2. I mean, it is a very quick game. Again, whoever ends up with the most points at the end of the game will win. What you're going to be doing in a round in player order, you will do an open draft from the available market. You're going to move your little guy to the point where that tile is that you're taking. Take the tile, leave your character there, and once everyone's drafted, then whatever the order is from left to right on the board, you put your tiles back in the turn order at the top. And then you move the tokens up from the bottom that were in the next round. You move them up to the current round. You pull 4 new tiles from the bag so everyone can see what's going to be available in round 3, so to speak. And you draft. Again, first player, whoever is, they get first pick. It's just that quick. It's very easy to pick up. The play time is very accurate, and I think, again, if you've got a group that's play this a couple times, you're going to find you'll be playing in less than 30 minutes. So, all right, so let's get down to the final meat of this review. Pros. Why is this fun? I love the quality of this game. Like I said, this is it's deluxeified right out of the gate, and I love the clear tiles. These things are really nice, and they look really good. It might be hard to see, in here, but when you're holding them up to your board and you've got them down in front of you on a table, they're very easy to see. It's with the glare and through the camera, maybe not, but the colored backgrounds, these things stand out real well. And it's fun just placing these little tiles around. It's fast. There's really no AP in this one. You got just a couple choices and you make it. The game plays quick. So if you've got people that are, analysis paralysis impaired, you're just not going to have that with this game. And again, all the scoring conditions are right out in front of you. So there's no, like, at the end of the game, oh, I didn't know that this scored that. Well, it's in front of you. Everyone has the same scoring, so it's not hidden in the rule book. It just makes it right from the gate, and you can talk about that with the team. Hey, this is how things are scoring. You can let everybody know, here's what you're trying to do with these tiles to score these points. All right. With the expansion, like I mentioned, you're going to greatly increase the type of objects that you have to play. So it's going to change the way the game is scored. It's going to make the game different every time. If you're always putting in, even if you're just substituting, I'm going to take asteroids out this time and I'm putting galaxies in. And then which side of that scoring weight of the galaxies do you want? Just that is going to change up the game from the first one by just removing one of the objects. So you get a lot of replayability, a lot of options for continued play. Also, the app making, once that app comes out here in just another week, you can just hold your phone and it'll look at it'll look at your board and boom, there's your score. No more, you won't have to sit here and try to count your chains and things like that. Just boom, that's my score. Speeds it up. Now, what are some cons? I really struggled with this. I didn't have any negative issues. So what I would say is that it's probably too light for some gamers. I did play this with my gaming group. Everyone else that I played with is very much into heavyweight games. I'm probably the only one that walked away like really liking this and really wanting to play more. I know one of the players did tell me if it was on their shelf, it would never get played. It's just too light for them. but they enjoyed it enough that if I brought it and said, hey, you want to play, they would play. Another guy that at my group probably wouldn't. He was not that impressed. It's just, I think it's too lightweight for him. Wasn't anything against the game. It's just he likes 2 to 3 hour long games. We played Battlestar Galactica, the board game last night. If that gives you, and it's his, and he has all the expansions, and that's a minimum of a 4 hour game. So that's his jam. He's not into these shorter ones. So I think if there's a con to this, that would be it. It's too light. It's a weight of 2.0 on BGG. But I also think that plays to that actually is a strength to this game, because I think this will appeal to a larger amount of people. It's a really nice theme. Twinkle Twinkle, I think gives it a kiddie feel, and if you look at the box, I think it looks more like a kid's game. It's got a little kid sleeping in, but they got they're like dreaming of the stars. I mean, if you look at that, they got their telescope, their little helmet up here on the bedside, and these lights like representing the stars, and they're just in bed dreaming, about being in space. And the space theme is something that a lot of people appeal to. So I think this game will be one that's going to become a great gateway game. So if you've got friends that aren't into gaming, or they think gaming is just Monopoly, and sorry, this is a great gateway game for them to get that kind of deluxe, really like, hey, we're gone past just the little cardboard. There's some deluxe. Look at this fancy bag. It's a bag builder. It's got an open auction. It's some new concepts maybe for people that aren't into modern board gaming, that is very simple to pick up, and it's exciting. It's kind of it's fun. So I think even though I'm putting it as a possible con, because I really don't see any, that's the only thing I can think of. Might be too light for some gamers, but I think that is its strength. It will bring more people into the hobby, which I think is always a good thing. So my final thoughts: is it fun? Yes. I had a lot of fun with this. I want to play it again, and I look forward to playing this game again. I would recommend this. I do give this game a thumbs up. Even if you are a heavy gamer, and you don't like the lighter stuff, you might want to try this one. Because there is strategy in here. There is, you have to draft. So you have to look ahead, like depending on when you're drafting, especially if you're first. Do I want to be first again? Do I want to take, which of these 5 tiles out there do I want? What's going to benefit me? But on the second hand, you got to look forward to what's coming next. What's going to be there? If you don't go first, what are you going to allow someone else to take? And would that be more valuable? So there, you have to kind of look forward. You have to plan out as best as you can. And you got to be careful where you're putting stuff. Once you put the tiles, you can't move them. So you're trying to build these chains and set collections and have things in certain positions or next to things or chaining things on your map. So it's not super easy. It's light, but there is strategy there. And that's why I think it really can appeal to a group of people. Who will like it? Gamers enjoy, like I said, who enjoy space-themed games. People who like lighter games. People who like a quick-paced game. I like longer games, but the problem with me is like those that sometimes it's like, I don't like a game where you do your turn and then it's 15, 20 minutes before you come back to you again. I'm like, that's just, then I'm on my phone or I've checked out. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. It's just, that to me is not fun. I like a game that just keeps things rolling, keeps it moving. And as much as I like Battlestar Galactica, the board game, that's a lot of fun. It can slow down, and so this isn't one of those games. So if you like really quick, I want to just keep playing, I want to keep doing something, this is one of those games. And it is absolutely replayable with, like I said, if you, even without the expansion, there's a lot of replayability here. But if you get the expansion to it, you just are like, I'd say doubling, because you get basically, double the amount of tiles. But there's just, and I don't even know what the number is, but you got a lot more options and setups than before, with a lot of different scoring options. So lots of replayability. So that's my thoughts on Twinkle Twinkle from Allplay and Ammon Ammon. Give it a thumbs up. Again, if you is releasing at Gen Con, so you should see it in the retail stores here really soon if you haven't seen it yet. Be sure to check it out. I think it's a fantastic game. Again, this is not sponsored. This is just my honest opinion. I paid for it. I crowdfunded it. I really like this game. I think you will too. I hope you enjoyed the review. I do ask it again. Please give us a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. We're trying really hard to get to 500 subscribers. We're moving up, but we're moving slow. With your help, we can make that goal of getting there. And again, if you're at Gen Con this week, please flag Rob and I down. Say hi to us. We would love to meet with you that are watching the channel and listening to the podcast. We really would like to have that opportunity to meet with you in person. So don't be shy and say hi. All right, with that, appreciate your time, and we'll see you at the table.